Hey, what's happening? It's the Oni Gino, and it's your favorite segment that you've never heard of. It's TNTL. Talk now, think later. This is the segment where I look at the news for today about video games and then I share my thoughts. I'm not an expert on the video games industry. I am not a video games journalist, but I am what I think I am, an entertainer. So yeah, I'm gonna check out the news, give out some opinions, but I want to make everyone remember, hey, fact checking is still something that I would recommend. And what I'm saying out loud here is just basically I don't know, general thoughts in my head, and it's probably limited, or I don't know the full story. But with that said, let's go into the news. I need music here. That's my music. All right. We are checking out Video Games Chronicle. I've been checking out Kotaku more for the past couple of weeks. But I don't know. Does anybody feel like Kotaku is writing in a more sensationalist kind of style these days? I hear I hear less and less about them being the source of news for my other I guess favorite streamers and all that jazz. So I've decided to go and look at videogameschronicle.com. This is the place of my favorite streamers and where they get their news. And yeah, let's give this a shot. And let's look at what they have here. All right. For today, July 7th, 2025. Remake reports persist as Square Enix releases Final Fantasy IX anniversary movie. There's a movie? Okay. I guess we're going in. I've only played Final Fantasy IX and I'm still on disc 3 this year. And that game is pretty good. I like it. I get it. Yeah. So far, I like it. Not too much to say about like, oh, it's the best game of all time or something. All right. So, a remake of FF9 is reportedly in development. I have been hearing this, but I do not know if I've ever confirmed it. So, or if anyone has ever confirmed it. I mean. Square Enix has celebrated 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy IX with a new video. Wow, 25 years already. As reports of an in-development remake persist. Just a side note, man, I don't know if I'm revealing my age here, but Final Fantasy IX was the talk of the town when I was in elementary school. So, ooh, it's, it's crazy that I'm playing it now. You can watch the Final Fantasy IX 25th anniversary special below. Oh, there's a special, which shows off iconic scenes from your popular PS1 RPG. This is the latest in several celebratory releases for the 25th anniversary of the game, including new artwork, new merchandise, and more. Ooh. All of this new Final Fantasy IX content has spurred on reports that a remake of the game could be on the way. Okay, so it's still all speculation. In 2021, a Final Fantasy IX remake was one of the many unannounced titles listed in a GeForce Now database leak. Oh, I see. That's why people have been talking about this. These included several Square Enix games that would later be officially confirmed, such as the PC version of Final Fantasy VII Remake, Chrono Cross Remaster, and Kingdom Hearts 4. Gotcha. So I guess that's what really makes people believe this more. While a Final Fantasy IX remake has yet to be announced, it's been claimed by multiple sources that one is indeed in development. Really? Multiple sources claimed. All right, but it's not confirmed yet. Square Enix Naoki Yoshida suggested last year that a remake of the game in the style of the currently ongoing Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy would be too big for one game. Yeah. Yes. Of course, I do know there are requests for Final Fantasy IX to be made, but when you think about Final Fantasy IX, it's a game with huge volume. Yes, he said at that time. When you think about all of that volume, I wonder if it's possible to remake that as a single title. It's a difficult one. It's a tough question. Okay. Earlier this year, it was claimed that multiple Final Fantasy remakes are currently in active development, including Final Fantasy IX. My wish is for the Final Fantasy in the middle of 7 and 9 would be the actual remake. Final Fantasy IX was originally released in 2000 for PlayStation. It was directed by Hiroyuki Ito, who would later direct Final Fantasy XII. Game was re-released in 2010 as PS1 Classic for PS3, PSP, Vita, supporting a support arriving in 2012. Okay, yes. I mean, I'm happy for the Final Fantasy IX fans. But are we... I honestly am trying to figure out if this is like... If it's a good idea. I mean, so Final Fantasy IX is very storybook like in its art direction, and like I kind of fear that if it's not pre-rendered backgrounds, that I guess like the whimsy and the like ultra detailed fairy book style, or like fantasy book fairy tale style backgrounds and environments and everything would be lost in the realism that they would undoubtedly bring there. But I mean, you have like games like Ni no Kuni, Dragon Quests. So Square's a big company; they can figure it out. I sometimes I'm just trying to think of it. If these things are really a need, of course I would be happy as a fan if Final Fantasy VIII was remade. But like, what does that look like? Like, do I want to go around Delling City really that much to, warrant like, oh, I need to see it in Ultra HD? I would like to go to Balam Garden and Balam to see, those areas as Super HD. But okay, honestly though, I would be okay if they didn't remake those things. Final Fantasy VII Remake is a game of its own. I don't think they've truly sold the idea of remaking Final Fantasy. I guess, you could say remaking. I guess just a lot of people might have been expecting that Final Fantasy VII Remake was like Ultra HD, I developed and like they can actually like move cameras and like scenes, but it's exactly the same game. But I felt like when I played, and I only played the first one, Remake, not Rebirth. It's just a lot of corridors, right? Like it's the Final Fantasy 13 problem. Given that it's a little better, there's a lot more going on there, and the combat is like, oh yes, Tifa. They put a lot of love on Tifa, on combat wise. Yeah, so like Final Fantasy IX, would they do that? I think Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has more exploration and more world map, like traversing and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, I do wish they'd lean on that if it's Final Fantasy IX, because I guess from a person who just played that, and I'm on disc 3, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of moving around the world map, and maybe a little more of that, and a little bit more quests around, that whole thing would be very interesting. Um, but yeah, do we really need like remakes? uh, yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Okay, okay, but like, uh, yeah, I don't know. What do we get out of it? I got super high, like higher resolutions, better gameplay, more immersiveness, I guess. I don't know, possible patches to the story, um, voice acting, but mostly it's just like, hey, we're getting to the Ultra HD with skin textures and like insane amounts of like real moving grass around the thing. So I don't know. I'm okay with it. I just sometimes I just think like what is really the point of remakes? Uh at some point nostalgia is going to run out because my generation is starting to get older and losing money because we're just losing our jobs to robots. So I wonder. That's my thing. But I would play a Final Fantasy IX remake. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. And if they make a Final Fantasy VIII remake, yes, I'm one of the dudes who would just, go out and just cry on the floor if I get my hands on one. So, yeah, that's the thought.